Now I've opened Scan Ball Player, and this is very typical of a scanned image. We have lots and lots of dust on it. And if we zoom in, you can actually see it quite well, especially on the darker colors. A little lint, we've got dust, and what we're going to be doing is removing it. Now, we don't want to adjust the background because that's our original. So we're going to duplicate this. I'm just going to press Control and J, and I'm going to name this Corrected. And then I'm going to go ahead and apply the Dust and Scratches filter to the whole thing. And we're not going to apply it very intensely because it does do some blurring. So it's going to be like a light application of it, and then we're going to be selecting different areas, going back in and applying that same command with different settings. So we're going to go to Filter, Noise. We're going to choose Dust and Scratches. And you can see how it does blur things just a little bit. But you will notice that if you increase the threshold, and it takes that blurring away. So we're going to set the radius at about 2, and we're going to pop the threshold up, to about 40. And that certainly does not get rid of all of the dust and scratches, okay, but it is a start. We're going to go ahead and click OK. And then what we're going to be doing is selectively picking different areas and getting rid of the dust and scratches. So we are going to select that black dark background. It's actually trees. So we're going to go ahead. I'm using my quick selection tool, and it usually does select too much. So I've got it on remove. I'm just going to kind of push it back. We're going to use a fairly high setting, so we don't want any of the boy selected. So we're just kind of picking that dark area. And you can see we still have some dust and scratches, and that type of thing shows up quite well on dark areas like this. So we're going to go ahead and go into Filter, Noise, Dust and Scratches. And I'm going to increase our radius to about 6. And then we're going to decrease the threshold to about 20. And we can still see that it's trees, but that eliminated pretty much all the dust. So we're going to go ahead and click OK. And then I'm going to press Control and D to get rid of those marching ants. And that foresty area looks good. And then what we're going to do next is remove the dust and the scratches in the grassy area around the boy. So I'm going to be basically selecting the grass. Still don't want to select the boy, but I'm going to do the grass here first, and then I'll go back and remove anything that got selected that I don't want included. Okay, so I can see this little tool just went crazy. So we don't want his head, that's right. So I'm going to click on the minus. And we do not want the hands or the bat or his body. So if you have issues with the selection tool, by all means, go into Quick Mask. I'm feeling confident that we can get this to work here. Hopefully. Let me try this with the plus. I'm probably going to have to go into Quick Mask because I can see it's not wanting to cooperate. Okay. Turn on my brush. And I do want to mask the rest of the bat here. And the part of his baseball pants. And then I'm going to add to the selection right about here. Okay, included too much. I'm going to switch back over. All right, let me get out a Quick Mask. All right, that doesn't look too bad for a selected area. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this command. I'm going to go to Filter, Noise, Dust and Scratches. And this time we're going to try radius of about 4. And let's drop the threshold down to 10. Now, if you don't feel like that is enough detail on the grass, you can increase it. But make sure as you increase it that you're not getting the dust back in there. That was the whole point of doing this. And remember, if you have trouble with the slider, you can use your arrow keys. So I'm going to leave mine about 10. I don't mind it if the grass is a little blurred. I'm going to press Control and D. And next we're going to do the shirt and the pants. And I will say that I kind of stay away from the face. I would not do dust and scratches on the face. If there was an area that had a big dust bunny or something on it, I would probably use like the spot healing or something like that. You don't want to lose detail on somebody's face. Not for something like this. I think that button area is difficult. There we go. We do not want the neck or any of the face. I'm just going to leave that out of there. That does not look bad. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and apply a filter. Same filter that we've been using. And we are going to maybe bump that radius up a little bit. And the threshold, now I'm using the down arrow key, just in case you're wondering. Maybe bump that up a little bit. Kind of a balancing act here between threshold and radius. We are losing a little bit of the detail on the button. But we are going to be sharpening everything at the end, so I think I'm going to go ahead and leave it. Let's see. I'm going to set both of these at 5. And I'm going to do Control and D. And as I mentioned, I would not do the face. For the hat, we certainly could have done that with the shirt. There's just a couple little spots. So what I would do for those is I would just choose spot healing. You know, with a soft edge, I should check that. Let's zoom in a little bit. This little tool should get rid of anything that, you know, you see in the face. I'm at a pretty high magnification, so that's why it's looking a little weird. And for that, I might have to use the clone. Remember, you have to Alt and sample. That turned out awfully dark. Undo that. I'll try cloning from over here. But it does look like the spot healing kind of got rid of it. Yeah, I don't like that. I think I'm just going to leave it like that because that's what it looks like at 100%. That doesn't look too bad. I'm going to go ahead and sharpen the whole thing. And I like unsharp mask. Remember, radius between 1 and 2. Get your sharpening amount. Keep in mind that you don't want to add noise because we just got rid of it. So you don't want the amount or the radius too high. And just in case you don't remember what it looked like before, let's turn this corrected layer off. You can see all of the dust. And now let's turn it back on. Okay, so at this point, you're going to save your changes.